there. It's crazy. I use a lot of Fluke. Fluke's like the best thing on the market, right? Yeah, I got one of those. That's just to make sure you don't.
See if you got power.
Yeah, I carry it in my pocket. I think I got one just to make sure there's power there.
Yeah.
But that's to tell you, okay, should I go in or should I not go in? Now, once you establish where the live power is, you can isolate it from there. But I don't recommend going in if you don't know what you're going into. You know, people go into a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Some guys
the company that I work for, they're some of the guys are freaking crazy. They'll just reach right inside a pole with 480.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Nah.
They do.
Well, you got to be careful though, because you can become that circuit. You know, all it takes is that little touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't take a whole lot. You know, you just touch it a little bit, boom, you got it. You know what I mean? That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the arcing alone can get you. I mean, that's what you got to be careful with too. The higher the voltage and the amperage, or it's the amperage that really you got to worry about.
That's right.
The amperage is what actually kills you. A lot of people don't know that. I got high voltage. Well, what's the amperage on there? You know, less than 1,000th of an amp can kill you. So. A lot of people don't know that, so they start messing with all kind of crazy stuff. Like, I tell people, respect it the best way you can.
That's right.
If you don't respect it, it won't respect you. I'm not gonna hold you up, let you get back to your work, but nice talking to you. I'm like, I'm seeing this guy up here, I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be neon. If that's neon, why they got neon up here for? It don't make any sense.
Yeah, AutoZone, that's all they got.
You would think
neon and they got fluorescent.
Yeah, but why? It doesn't make sense. It's more expensive too.
Fuck yeah. All the way to the other end.
Oh wow.
Oh, lamp.
That's crazy. They still using that stuff, huh?
30s, 24-inch, 18-inch,
wow.
96-inch.
They still using that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You think with the technology they're able to move on? Like a lot of places don't use fluorescence anymore. They get rid of it. They yank it all out and put LED in there. That's why I was wondering if there was a ballast up there, but now I know there is a ballast up there. Yeah. Well, transformer rather. That one has the transformer. The fluorescent has the ballast. But that stuff there, man, you gotta be careful working with that. I used to do some of those downtown, and those boxes, depending how big they are, they can knock you on your ass. Trust me. I got a few jumps my time, so I know what it feels like. You feel like the light bulb, you know? Get lit up. Take care, buddy. He's a pretty cool dude. So that is neon. I was looking at it and I'm like, is that neon? But it actually is neon. And I can't believe people still use neon, but they are using neon. So he found the culprit. He said it was a burnt out wire from the transformer. Now, those of you who have never seen those transformers, they look like a half a brick. Some of them are bigger than that. Some are like a whole brick or a brick and a half, depending on which one you're using. They have 2 wires on one side and 2 wires on the other side. So basically what it does, it comes in at 120 or 208, depending on what transformer you have. And it steps it up to like 15,000 volts or something like that. It's up pretty high. And it's enough to get you jolted up. So you don't want to really mess with those things. Those things have some kick. If you think putting your finger in a light socket is something, it's totally different compared to putting your finger in a light socket. Matter of fact, back in the day when we went to electrical class, we didn't have a lot of testers back then, and one of my teachers, Joe Flanagan, I remember him so well. All the time he tested electricity, he just licked his 2 fingers and he'd put it on the wires, and based off of the electricity current he has going through his fingers, he could tell you was it 208, was it 120, was it 277. He was pretty accurate on it too. Like I've tried it. It's not a good feeling, so you don't do it unless you really have to do it, or unless you really want to do it. But a lot of the old timers know exactly what I'm talking about. You go lick your 2 fingers and you just put your fingers on the 2 wires, one each wire, and you can tell, you know, what it is. This stuff right here, like you said, that's dangerous. Like if you touch that transformer the wrong way, it will pretty much knock you off that damn lift. You gotta think about it. If you notice, he's working with his bare hands. It's when you're an electrician, I'm not saying you can't use gloves, but it's tough to use gloves because you don't get the feel of the wire. You can't really turn the wire net the right way. You know, it's tough. I mean, sometimes you want to use it with your bare hands. Like the only time you really should use gloves is when you're using those called high tension wires. Those ones you definitely should put gloves on because you could become the ground whether you know it or not. You will become the ground, put it that way. Not that you could be, you will become the ground. And I was curious because I honestly I didn't know what they had behind there. I thought they were always LED, but believe it or not, there's still people using neon. And neon, wow, neon's probably 80 to 90 years old, maybe older. Neon is it's one of the older lighting systems that people used back in the day. Remember you just had that song, they said the neon lights are bright on Broadway? So that's what they would talk about, the neon lights, way back then. So I don't know if they use the neon lights now on Broadway, but that's a good thing to check out. Now this car is going to drive under there. Rule of thumb, guys, you're not supposed to drive a vehicle under anything overreaching. Just like they say, don't walk under ladders and stuff like that. Because if he was bringing that boom down and he didn't see that car, he could potentially crush that vehicle. Those booms are pretty strong. They got a lot of weight on there. So he got it up and running. Good job. Yep, you got it. You see that? And that's the technical part of it when you troubleshoot. Some people are only good at installing, and that's it. They don't. All they do is replace, install. But the technical part is when you troubleshoot why it's not working. Okay. Is the light good? Okay, the light's good. What about the power? I got good power. So what's between the power and the light? The wires. All right, check the wires. Am I getting continuity through all the wires? You know what I mean? It's process elimination, but it's all about knowing what you're checking at the same time. And I tell you, there's a lot to learn in an electrical field. Just the AC side of it alone is one thing, but the DC side of it is a whole different perspective. So learn the AC first before you go into the DC, because DC is let's say it's more dangerous. Yeah, you go inside. Yep, just be careful. This guy, hopefully they give this guy a raise. He's probably a supervisor, or he has the potential to be a supervisor and just don't want to be a supervisor. That's how I am. Like a lot of jobs I take, I don't want to supervise guys, because a lot of these guys don't pay attention anyway. So why you want to supervise somebody that's not going to listen, not going to follow instructions? And when they get hurt, they're going to say, I didn't know. Well, you didn't know because you weren't listening. You weren't following instructions. Like, and the most important thing is when you have a class, I cannot express this enough. Pay attention in class, ask questions. That's the learning part of it right there. That's gonna make or break you in the field when you ask questions in the class. Any question you could think of, asking that question. And that covers anybody and everybody to take up a trade. Take up multiple trades. If it's not electrical, it's plumbing. If it's not plumbing, carpentry, auto mechanics. Get something hands-on. You know, learn a little, be well-rounded. Learn a little bit about everything. That's what I did. I didn't want to take any particular course, so I took multiple courses on different things. So I have, you know, basic knowledge of air conditioning, refrigeration, basic knowledge of automotive. You know, you want to have basic knowledge of a little bit of everything, so it doesn't sound like it's foreign to you when someone's explaining something to you. I got a prime example. We was doing an electrical job. The guy goes, I want 3 cans over here, 4 cans over there. So I'm not going to say the guy's name, but he was like, what? Cans? What cans you talking about? So he didn't understand that cans mean recessed lighting. They call those cans. That's a trade name or name that people call those, or contractors call them. So he's looking like, cans? What cans? And I'm looking at him like, you don't know what cans are? Like, you come in to do a job and you don't know what he's talking about, you know. So he's got the transformer. You can't call this a ballast because it's not a ballast. A ballast does something totally different from a transformer. A transformer transforms. That's exactly what it does. So it transforms it to a higher voltage, and it brings it up from. Typically, that's probably. Well, commercial businesses have 277. So that could be a 277 to a 15,000, something like that. But most, that's another thing you guys need to know. I see a lot of people make this mistake. When you see commercial buildings like Home Depot, Stop and Shop, Best Buy, those buildings run off of 277. So you can't just get a regular plug and hook up your toaster oven to it, because you will fry something or fry yourself. I see one guy make that mistake. He was hooking a regular incandescent lamp up to 277, and he was trying to test for power. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm testing for power. I said, okay, go ahead, go test for the power. And it blew the light bulb out, because you can't put 277 on a regular incandescent light bulb. It doesn't work. Just as you can't put 220 on a regular incandescent light bulb. So those are things you got to know. Voltage and amperage are very important. Like, I don't know all the details behind it, but I know enough not to apply something that don't belong. And the more you study, the more you understand, the more you're going to know. That's how it works. Now this is all AC. Everything he's working up there is all AC, which stands for alternating current. Alternating current is it's the cycles, the 60 hertz cycle, basically, of the transformer, or I should say generator, whatever is generating. It's the cycle that it generates on. It's more to it. I can't go into details on it because it gets a little. But just think of 60 hertz. Well, in the United States, we have 60 hertz. Some other countries, it might be different. So he's got that up and running, which is real good. Yeah, that's where the technical part comes in. Like any other new jack probably would have said, "Oh, the bulb's no good. Let's get a new one." He would have bought a new bulb and found out that the same thing was happening. But sometimes you got to get in and get your hands dirty to really figure out what's going on up in there. That's what he did. He realized the bulb wasn't working. He has a little like a little meter that lights it up, that tells you if the neon is working. It basically glows up the neon. If you put electricity to the neon, it basically glows it. Same with the fluorescence. A little trick we used to do back in the day. Don't try this, guys, but we'll get like one of those small neon bulbs and put it in the microwave oven and watch it glow. It actually will glow in the microwave. Guys, don't do that, but it's just food for thought. It does work. The light bulb glows inside the microwave oven when you put it in there. I don't know how good it is after that, but it works while it's in the oven. So I'm gonna might be a part 2 because I went over my time limit on the first one. So I'm gonna leave this as probably part 2. You did a great job. You got that working, up and running. So that's the transformer right there, huh?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Oh, you didn't even need
I
it.
just brought it up there just in case I needed it.
Exactly. It's best to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's not bad at all. Like I said, a lot of people don't have those trays anymore. Like you see, even these new guys that come out, they don't have the skill.
No.
They don't even. I see one guy, he couldn't even do a 3-way switch. Like he didn't know the concept of a 3-way switch. I'm like, come on, that's like basic stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to even try. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they make it easier for them now, and they still don't want to learn.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, you have to do.
Now they're giving these kids freaking $15 an hour to freaking do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I know. When I was going to school, you had to do the related hours. You have all the hours. If you didn't have the hours, then you couldn't do anything.
Right.
And that's all the equations, Watts law, EIR, and all that stuff. Resistance. A lot of it I don't really use, but they got formulas on the phone now that show them all that.
That's right.
So they don't even have to even do the math anymore.
That's right.
So it's crazy. Like, and you look at it and say, oh, they got the equation for that now. Like, what? Come on, it's crazy. Like, it's so easy, and they still don't want to do it. It's unbelievable. But you did a great job up there. Like, you don't see that kind of work anymore. At least not nowadays, anyway.
I got a good piece over here. And I took out of there.
You got a good piece over there? Oh, that's the burnt wire. Oh, wow. That's fried up real good.
Yep.
That could have caused a fire.
Oh, yeah.
They're lucky that didn't catch on fire up there.
Oh, it has.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Once that start arcing like that, that's it.
Yeah.
All they got to do is keep feeding it.
Well, the transformers that they have today, as soon as they sense any kind of water, dampness or anything like that, it'll kick the transformer off.
Okay.
And it'll run its cycle, and tomorrow, when it's supposed to come on, it'll come back on again.
Oh, okay. That's good to have.
But years ago, the transformers that's up there right now, it fucking burned the building down.
Yeah,
it'll keep running.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about. Keep feeding the fire.
Yeah.
It'll keep, as long as it gets that arc, and it keep going and going and going, and it'll keep going.
Yeah.
A lot of these now, they want them on GFIs and all that stuff too. I don't know if they do these now.
Yeah.
But a lot of outside lighting, they want them on GFIs just for that reason.
Yep.
And then now they got the arc fault protectors that help a little bit better.
Correct.
One thing I hate about the arc fault detectors, one little spark, it shuts the whole damn thing off, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta find out where the loose wire is.
Yep.
But the arc faults are saving a lot of people's lives too. A lot. Like those things came in play now because people were doing crazy stuff back in the day.
Yep.
And they were like putting wires where the wrong size wire, wrong size breaker and all that kind of stuff. And it would cause all kind of chaos. So now they're trying to get more strict on it because people are doing crazy stuff. And they still do crazy stuff. I see one guy jumping out a panel with jumping up with the bus bar with like a flat piece of pipe.
Oh, Jesus.
Put that right in there. I mean, you can do it, but it's not good.
No.
I wouldn't recommend doing it.
That'd be an help.
Oh yeah, definitely. So he's got that sign up and running. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's got them all lit up. You can't really see it, but it's still lit up. He did a great job doing it. Every time I see electrical work, I always admire the electricians, because electrical work is one of the most knowledgeable fields you gotta know. Like you could do plumbing and know plumbing code and recite plumbing code, but there's no real major danger. There is dangers involved, but nothing compared to electricity. Electricity has dangers all around. Whether you know or not, from the first time you step in the door, you could be in danger. You know. But plumbing is like, you know, there's dangers in plumbing, but not as close as much electrical work. This gentleman here is doing a fine job on the electrical work, and he's a good troubleshooter. Now, you can't find a lot of good troubleshooters anymore either. They don't know the concept of electricity. They don't know how it works, what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to work. You know, that's a whole different issue. A lot of the old timers, they do it. You know, the young guys, like, they just install. That's all they do. They replace, install. They check a breaker, they check a connection, and that's about it. They're out of there. If they can't figure out, they say, oh, let's run a whole new wire, because they don't know what's going on. It could be something simple. It's my boy James right there. I don't know if you guys know him. He's been around the city for years. This gentleman, once again, he did a great job troubleshooting those lights. He got them up and running. I admire the fact that he's out here in the cold. It's just so you know how cold it is. This would be a puddle of water, but that's ice. So anything that's liquid on the ground is frozen. So it's at least 32 degrees out here, maybe a little colder. But when you're out there with bare hands and you're braving the frigid weather and you're fixing a light, and it's tough to do that with gloves on, because I'm not saying you can't. It's just a little bit tougher to do it with gloves on, because you don't get the feel of the object that you're trying to work with. You know what I mean? And a lot of old timers, they don't wear gloves because they're used to doing it with their bare hands. I remember before they had insulated pliers, I had to use pliers that had no insulation on them. And we used them that way just to teach us a lesson. If we touched the wire the wrong way, what field is that? And that was a way of teaching. All the pliers and screwdrivers had no insulation on them. They were just like regular screwdrivers and pliers. Now we get insulated handles and stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier. Another car driving under we could call it a crane or a lift, but I choose not to do that. Like, unless somebody tells you it's okay to do it, because you don't know what this gentleman's gonna do. You don't know if he's gonna lower that down or not. If a hydraulic hose breaks, and the piston gives way, that's gonna drop. That's all it's gonna do. Unless it has a safety valve on, it's gonna catch it. Some do, some don't. If the piston drops and the velocity comes out too fast, it might catch it. But still, you don't want to take that chance. I mean, you just don't want to take that chance. So he's all wrapped up over here. He did a great job. I encourage anybody and everybody to learn a trade. Doesn't have to be electrical. It could be plumbing, carpentry, automotive, electronics, cosmetology, photography, anything that's going to keep your mind at ease and keep your mind focused. Learn it, you know what I mean? There's so many things you can learn out there nowadays. Okay. Like just driving this truck alone, he's probably got 3 or 4 endorsements alone. He's got his hoisting, he's got his hydraulic, he probably got his welding license, like electrical license, and that's how you become well-rounded. You get one and get another one, and get another one, get another one. Like, I haven't did a lot of that yet, but I may take a few of more classes just to brush up my skills, you know, to see what's going on out there. Job well done, my man. You did a great job. Hopefully they give you a raise.
Yeah. That's my raise right there.
Yeah, the lift.
Go as high as you want.
It goes. That's true. I say you must get like 5 different endorsements: hoisting, hydraulic, welding, electrical.
I didn't do my hydraulics.
You didn't do hydraulics?
No.
Well, sometimes you don't need them, but there's a lot of places like they want you to have it, but you don't have to have it. As long as you know how to use it, you don't have to have it.
Yeah, I got my crane license.
Well, that's part of it right there.
Yeah.
The crane license. Well, if you got the crane license, you get the hydraulic, because the cranes will operate on hydraulic. So that's all in one. But you did a great job out there. Hopefully these young people can learn from you, you know? It'd be nice if they did, but a lot of these young kids now, you can't get them to go do it. They're playing video games, that's all they're doing.
They don't want to learn.
They don't want to do anything. They don't want to get their hands dirty.
Show me the money. That's all they want.
I mean, I'm a person, I work with my hands all the time. That's what I do.
Yep.
All right, my man, you be safe out there.
Yeah.
Don't work too hard. I put this on I got a YouTube channel, External Affairs Porter. External Affairs Porter.
External?
External Affairs, yep. You look it up, you'll find it right there. And I post all kinds of things. Somebody could be cutting grass, I record everything.
Oh, yeah.
It don't matter what it is. If it's something amazing, amusing, I record it.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes, most of it's educational, informational purposes, you know?
Yeah.
Because some people probably never seen that kind of work done before. So, okay, that's how they do it, you know? Some people don't even get out the house, so they get to see what's out in the real world.
Yeah.
Because I go to different places. I go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah, we do too.
I know you guys are out of. I think it says Shrewsbury. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good hike from here.
Yeah, we go all over Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Wow, that's not bad, huh? Rhode Island got
yeah.
one of the most strictest electrical laws out there.
Yeah.
And
Rhode Island's a bitch.
Yeah, Rhode Island. If you ever try to do a electrical job out there, you really gotta know what the hell you're doing.
I've gotten caught in there. I'm not licensed for it.
Oh man.
But I go down there, I'm freaking working on a sign or something, and the inspector will drive up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They come looking for you.
Yeah, he caught us a couple times.
Boston's the same way too.
Yeah.
They come looking for you. Hey, why you? What's your permit? Like and then they make it harder for you to even get it done. He comes back and micromanages every little thing you're doing. Oh, you didn't ground that screw the right way, you know? All kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, we have this, but Rhode Island, I think it's a little more tougher out there than up here.
Yeah, Rhode Island. They'll pull right up on the side of your truck and just sit in their car and wait for you to touch something.
They say, I got no permit for that.
You got your license?
You're like,
you see your license?
You're like, oh, okay, I left it at home.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, exactly. All right, buddy, take care. Be safe out there.
Take care.
All right, So he's all done. He did a great job. Just got to show a little bit of everything in the city, and that's a very positive thing, educational-wise too. Very friendly gentleman. Very knowledgeable too, because when you see somebody doing that kind of work, they're very knowledgeable what they do. Like he did it with caution, he did it with precision, and job well done. He did it under an hour, which is real good. So next time, guys, Nez Porter. Catch you on the next one.